Do any of you hear voices in your head? Some of you may say yes all the time, whereas others would just look at me like I'm mentally retarded. This is the reaction I got with my friends when I first asked them. Most of them laughed it off or changed the subject. I don't think they realised at the time that what I was saying was serious. For the last month I've been hearing voices, and it started out as something in the back of my mind. I'd often turn to strangers and ask if they'd said something, to which they'd either shake their head or give me a dirty look. What I found weird was that it became more frequent as time went on. I can hear them now with very little difficulty. It's not necessarily something I can control. I've tried ignoring them and telling them to shut up, both in my head and out loud. You can probably guess the reaction I got from nearby crowds after that. The voices range a lot, from telling me how pretty the girl sat next to me on the buses, to complaints about the price of food in the grocery store, even though I personally thought it was reasonable. I knew I had a problem, but I wasn't sure who to turn to. To be honest, I didn't even know what to say. I wasn't really concerned up until the point where I heard some of the darker toned voices. Every now and then I heard the voices become more aggressive. They spoke about how they wanted to hurt themselves or someone else, like an example would be, "It would be so easy, I could just push her." I heard this as I walked past a couple over a bridge that went over a busy highway. This only got worse. Not really more frequent, but over time I heard worse. Thoughts of going on killing sprees, robbing stores, raping women and kidnapping children. Now I would just like to say that I have no criminal record. I have never even thought about such things before. I was worried that I was getting some kind of mental condition, like some kind of split personality or something like that. One time I walked out the bank and heard a voice say 5 o'clock, and at the time I passed it off, but when I put on the news that evening, the bank had been robbed at 5 o'clock, believe it or not. I wasn't really sure what to think. I wanted to pass it off as a coincidence, but it didn't seem right. Most people get deja vu when you think you've seen something before, but I remember leaving and placing $50 in my wallet at the time I heard it. It was clear as day, and I remember passing it off even then. To be honest, I was pretty freaked out. The thought of myself robbing it had crossed my mind, but there was no way. I came straight home and hadn't left since. Last night I was thinking about how much I hated Andrew. Andrew was my neighbour. I was being told that he was a liar, a cheat, a low-life bastard, to name a few. It was the next morning when I found out that the police had been called. He had his throat cut in his sleep, murdered by his wife. I thought the voices as being reason for why his wife killed him, though that never explained why I heard the voices telling me to kidnap children, murder strangers, and do unspeakable things. These became a daily thing as I walked to and from work. It was only tonight when the voices finally stopped, when I came home and there was only the sound of silence. I was able to get to sleep with ease for the first time in days. But this did not happen. Once I was in bed, my mind clicked. With the house next door vacant due to the murder, there was no sound, and I realised it wasn't my thoughts that I was hearing.